hello, my darlings, and here we are, Judith and Wallace, psychic twins down under here in Oz, and we're very excited to be on this channel, bringing to you our ideas, thoughts, channel wisdom from wherever, and isn't that exciting? To be open and allowing for all of us. And if you go to my midweek and take a look at that, you'll hear me talking about mediumship this week, and then some predictions and some channeling, and how that's going to be escalating on the planet in the very, very near future for many, 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 many people. So that's exciting, and for us, of course, to be able to share that. Well, darlings, we're just the messenger, aren't we, loves? And so we're there to bring this to you at this stage in our life. Why? Because we're, wise old birds, and that's, I think that happens. So if you're getting a little bit older, and you looking at yourself going, well, maybe nobody's listening to you and you feel like you're invisible, etc., that's great, that's fabulous, because people say a lot of things around invisibility, and so you get to hear a lot of things and you get to know a lot of things. So look at it in a positive way, it's not negative. And so it's important, because we've earned the right. We are, what do the Hopi Indians say? We're the ones we've been waiting for, and we sure as hell are. The little dog's down here scratching away, making herself a bed. She's got beds, but this is where she wants to be, under my feet. So welcome, wherever you are in the world. And I'm not going to name places, because I always leave someone out, and then I feel bad about it, as I said last week. So welcome to Judy. Thank you, Judy. Isn't this fabulous? We'll get to, both of us yabbering on in a few minutes. Couple of housekeeping things. If you like the channel, if you like us, if you like what you hear, if you're engaged in it, if you think it's fabulous, buy us a coffee, and that helps support the channel and support the things that we do. The other thing is that if you really like what you hear and you like us, share the link with some other people, make comments. We're going to be inviting other readers and other people onto our show. We've got quite a list of people we're going to send invites to in the next few days. So that's exciting, isn't it, Judy? That's exciting.
Yeah. It is. It is. We like to listen to others, and we like their input, and we like to talk about them. We like to talk about spirit and other realms, and how they see it, and how they are, and how they access. It's good. We all do it in, different ways.
Absolutely. And if you'd like to book a reading, you can go to the link. Clara, our gorgeous VA. Will PA, VA, our important person, we're going to call her, our very important person, Clara, who picks up after us and goes along behind us, sort of making everything right. Thank you, Clara. And she'll put up a link for you. Click on the link if you want to book a reading with us, and you can book a reading with either or both. If you could just say which, whatever, however you want that would be helpful. And anything else I might have forgotten, Judy, to say on the housekeeping?
I don't think so. I think you've perhaps you might sort of go over with everybody what today, what we're going to cover.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to try and keep it to 40 minutes or 45 minutes. Because we usually talk on.
We're going to do our best. We're going to do our best, darlings. We're going to do our best with that. USA in crises is our topic for today, but it's got three components to it. We're going to have a little shuffle about the tariffs. We're going to then take a look at his health, Humpty Dumpty's health, and current and future, what's going on with him. Let's take another little look at the health thing with him, and it's a little way away, but we're going to take a look at, for the future, we're going to take a little look at upcoming the midterms when they come up, and some of these real swings that have been happening so far, I think, which are an indication. But I'm getting some, anyway, won't talk about that. Wait till it comes and let's see what the cards bring and what comes for us. I won't get into preempting any of that for myself. I just want to see what comes, because I've got some other stuff coming around that as well. Okay, so let's begin. Let's talk about, briefly, the USA is in crisis. Of course you are, and you know it. And, more and more and more, this whole destructive behaviour, we'll call it, by this present presidency and his cronies, and all of the, now he's talking about, what was the thing I heard somewhere, the whole thing around, he's made, there's some talk about him, giving a pardon to this, Diddy Coombs. Oh, please, we won't look at it today, darlings, but my God, that would be just pathetic. And I mean, it'd be pathetic at its worst. But anyway, of course it's in crisis. The rest of the world are laughing at America, not at you guys. They're not laughing at the population of America. They're laughing. So I don't want you, darlings, to get yourself all caught up in feeling bad and taking on his shit. I don't want you to do that. I want you to stay back from it and know that if you didn't vote for him, well, then you didn't vote for him and you're all good. You didn't contribute to this crap. So feel good about that, and you just have to go with that, because, when all this crap happens around you, you tend to sort of want to take on, the fact that everybody hates America. No, that's not true, darlings. Everybody doesn't hate America. We love you. Love, love, love. And I mean love, love, love. We love you. I have the nicest, most special, spectacular people on my midweek show, and we do now at the weekends. We love you and care about you and put our arms out around you to give you a hug. We're very, very caring of you, and I love you. So it's nothing to do with you. It's just simply these lunatics, and they're there for a reason. What are we learning? If you're going to question anything, just say to yourself, what are we learning from this? What is this telling us? What are we learning? And we all get complacent. We get complacent about our lives. We get complacent about things, and we can become very complacent, all of us. And we've done it over the years here in Australia. We're not exempt from it. You can become very complacent about, how good life is. And even if you have your bitches and your whinges and your whines and groans about it, pretty much, you're going all right. And so you can become complacent about that. Judy, any input on that, love?
I'm waiting for you to turn the cards over and see what you got for your first one.
Oh, I haven't shuffled.
You better shuffle.
Apologise. I'm shuffling. Okay, so we're shuffling about the tariffs?
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right, I'm on it, darling, I'm on it. I'm using today what I've been using for a while, because I'm very drawn to them, this old style tarot. I'm using that today, and somewhere along the line, I was going to grab another pack, but I haven't yet. I've got a fabulous Cairo Mochetti. I've got a fabulous big pack of his. I thought I might pull. But I will overlay these. We will do something at the end, which I always like to do, around Denise Lynn's Sacred Forest Tarot. I like to pull, 3 cards at the end just to give us a bit of a settling overview, helicopter, drone view or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I think we can forget the helicopters and go with drones. They're the thing, aren't they? I wouldn't mind one of those to play with. Okay, all right. I'm going to be putting out my cards in relation to the tariffs. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. First card out, Judy. What was yours, darling?
Yeah, what I got was, and I was sitting here thinking about, if you can sort of see that.
Yep, got it. Yep.
Yeah,
What have we got there?
the Seven of Swords.
Seven of Swords. Yep.
And I was thinking about, when I was sitting here and I turned these cards over and I was thinking about them, I was thinking there was certainly, with all what's happening with the tariffs and things like that, there's certainly a walking away, but not completely. Because here's the thing, when I looked at this card and I got this area of tariffs, we've got a person in charge, if you like, so to speak, of decisions around tariffs. And that person in their life, and this becomes, personal, not about actually what tariffs are and how they work and how they can benefit and so on and so forth. But we've got this person that gets ideas in their mind, and to them they're real and more than real, larger than life. And the person likes to do deals. And I remember mentioning this to you, yesterday. I think I was driving home a distance, and I was in the car, and the car seems to become the office when I'm on longer trips. And we were talking about the deals. The person loves deals. So it's a dog with a bone. There's a walking away, but only to a point, only to where another shiny object comes along to take their attention, and then they throw it out to everybody. Everybody chases it, and it's something else that people focus on, and he has people running back and forwards with all this. So this walking away is after, long thought, but it's not a complete walking away. That's what I'm getting. He's not going to let it all go until he finds something else. But he's still talking about deals, and he's still talking about things. So there's not a complete walking away here. Not at the moment. Not as we read today. It's not happening. What do you get?
Okay, what I got was the first card out was Page of Wands. But what I'm looking at, I just want to briefly say this. I've got Page of Wands, the Fool, because I'm going to read the first one in line with the rest. The High Priestess, the Hermit, and the Strength card. And what I got from all of those cards when they came out, the Page of Wands, the whole thing, what I got was a total moving picture that, yes, I do agree with you and the tariffs. I agree that that he's not going to walk back from them. He's not going to walk all the tariffs back because he's got to save face. He's got to save face. That's just who he is. He won't do anything where he's going to look, he knowingly in his mind, if it's in the front of his mind, he's going to look like a goose. He's not going to, and he's going to look like a drongo. He's not going to walk it all back. But everything tells him, mate, time to kick it to the curb, time to drop it. But he isn't. You're exactly right. What I'm getting from my reading when I pull all this out, especially with the Hermit, the High Priestess, the Strength card, the Fool card, what I'm getting is the tariffs are going to cause, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news on this, but the tariffs as they exist, as they stand right now, and I believe that, you know, you can't close the gate after the horse is bolted. I believe that the tariffs already, and it's going to continue because you won't stop the horse. He's gotten out of the gate. You will not stop companies, big companies, organisations, people. Lots of people have already gone. Lots of people have set themselves up in other areas of the world, and they've bought homes, and they're, you know, you don't hear about all that. But a lot of celebrities, a lot of people have moved. A lot of people have moved overseas to sit back and just see, you know, what happens to the sinking ship. And they're leaving. And of course, I get it. We don't all have that, you know, we don't all have that option. But what I'm getting here from the cards I brought out, and I'm going to do a helicopter view of it because we do want to get to the others, but what I'm getting is there's going to be more and more companies, big and small, relocating out of America. And that's
well, what I got was that it's right. The horses already bolted out of the gate, and the gate's not closed. There's a lot more to be had there, because what people are doing and what companies are doing, particularly companies, people are on a smaller scale, of course, because that comes back to our own personal feelings about things. But what's happening with companies is companies are doing a lot of, and this card came out amongst some of the cards, and what's happening is a lot of soul searching in companies, in that they won't go back now, because what they've done is, or what they're doing is, they're looking at, well, if this is all happening, they're finally making a decision on what they can do and taking charge of, because everything else, so much of everything else is out of control. They're now realising that they're not relying on governments, they're not relying on, they're making the choice for their future, for their company's future. So, and looking to see how long term that survival is going to happen. So that's that's pretty important.
I think when we look at most of this stuff, I mean, if we're all really realistic, and we certainly need strength around this, we sure do. We sure as hell need to, you know, buck up, buddy. We need to, you know, get some backbone, and we need to, you know, brace ourselves against it, because it is going to happen. I'm telling you, they're going. Once they make the decision to do it, once it's already in the pipeline, once they've put all the stuff, they're not going back. And that's what happened to the rest of the world when he came into power and he did the things that he did. The rest of the world sat there, nodded their head to him. But they already knew that they were going out the back door, and they were going to create new alliances. They were going to create new people to work with, new ideas, new contracts, and that's all taking place all over the world. And we're not going back. Australia's not going back. We're not going back. I think Kamala Harris was out here in Australia recently. I don't know whether she's still here, but she was here. And, we're not going back. The whole point is we voted this government in that's in now, and they're very much about, moving on and not getting caught up in all this stuff. And the rest of the world is doing that. The rest of the world is participating in that. So America in and of itself is going to do that as well. That's not such a bad thing, because it simply just means that, things will be done differently. It won't be the way that it was. Now, what does that mean? I mean, we've got the hermit, we've got the high priestess, and we've got the fool. Well, the fool's new beginnings. Of course, it's new beginnings. The thing that came up for me, big time, big letters came up for me. Bartering. I think you're going to see in the future. I don't know. This thing's been happening to me the last couple of days. I think you're going to see in the future, with one another. I think you're going to see a lot more bartering, and that's a really, really interesting thing. How's that? How is that? So that's fascinating. It'll be interesting to see if that comes to fruition and we see more of that. But I think there's some of it already taking place. And the high priestess and the the hermit and all that is this whole area of expose. We're going to be seeing we're going to be seeing a light. We're going to shine a light on all this, and it's not going to be a little thing over here and a little thing over there. And did you know so and so? We're going to see. It's going to be in the news. It's going to be out there in the open. It's going to be talked about. It's going to be brandished around, and people are going to be pissed about it all. It absolutely is. Judy, just briefly finishing that little...
Yeah, just briefly finishing on that note. Well, there were a couple of other cards that came out here, and I, got that, this particular card here, if you can see it. Yeah, there.
Yeah, just hold it in front of you. It'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah. This card here, there's a lot of, people moving around, a lot of travelling.
The Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups, and the Star card.
Yeah. So a lot of soul searching here. This is the soul searching here. And we talked about that before. The soul searching on companies. They're, as we said, and you've been saying, they're not going back. None of them are going back. New ideas, new beginnings, that sort of thing. And companies looking to other countries, travelling to other countries.
Well, they're already global. They're already global. So, they've got that.
But actually setting up base is what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Setting up base in other countries.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're already global companies, so it's not like they have to start over or whatever. They just simply their base.
Yeah. Which they're doing.
When you look at a president who has a go at a university because his son doesn't get in and he's pissed about it, well, his son didn't get in for a good reason. And he's pissed about it, and then he has a go at that university. Who's safe? Who? Anybody? That's why there's this movement. There is a movement. There's going to be a whole lot more movement. And I want to predict this too. Watch the alternate media, and even people like this channel. Watch the alternate media areas grow exponentially in the next couple of years. Watch them. They're already growing already, but they're going to double and triple their membership because people are moving away from the inability and the spinelessness of major media outlets to call it as it is. Okay, Humpty Dumpty's current health and future, well, that's not a biggie. We don't have to dwell on that for too long, but let's throw some cards out, see what you get.
Okay. Well, certainly for me, I got, some cards here. I'll just hold the cards up and, some of these. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. We've got, the Ten of Swords. A lot of swords here. So, and if we're looking at things like that, certainly, swords are something that's, really good for us in this particular instant. And I think, there's some good cards there. So what I've got here is change. My goodness me. If we thought it was we were in change before with this particular person and their health, um, there's so much more change to come. And gee, I felt like I was listening to a horse galloping, and I could hear the clogging the on the earth, and it was like galloping forward. So we're going to say, I got a big 2 flew in there. So I'm going to go for, look, I'd go for 2 days, more like the 2 weeks, 2 months. We're not going out to 2 years. It's too far out for what I got. So we'll go 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, because I'll get into the twos. I don't want to vet what I got. But there's going to be some very big changes, really big changes. And this person is going to feel, oh, I got goosebumps everywhere. And we don't wish awful things on people. That's not what this is about. It's just picking up on what's going on around the person. And somewhere there, I felt they were in and will be in, not right this minute, but it's very imminent, a lot of pain, like physical pain. I felt the pain, and the goosebumps came in around me on my hands, and I thought, oh, we've got somebody here that's going to go through a lot of pain. So there's going to be a lot of shuffling around to try and hide some things. So, and or what is going on with that person, and they're actually going to be looking for keeping this person on the side, but looking for what can they do, what other ideas can they introduce to keep things rolling along. And I'm really talking about the Republican Party here, that there's a bit of hiding. I know there's been a lot of hiding, but this is hiding around health. And there's
Totally.
it's pretty major.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty major. So
yeah, big cover up.
It's almost like the person disappears for a little while,
yeah,
and then they're trying to think of things to say. So there's, they won't be putting that out there.
They're not letting it out. There's a lot.
There'll be a lot of hiding, if you like, hiding behind things to try and see how it's going. But I can tell you now,
they won't be available for questions. They won't be available.
No, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good at all.
Okay. All right. Now, the first card out for me was this blank one. I love it. So fill in the blank, so to speak. 10 of Cups came out. 10 of Wands, the Emperor, and the Judgment card. Not surprising, is it? Not surprising. I'm still going to go with, and I've been saying it for a while, that there's going to still be a lot of stuff opening up around him. He's trying his damnedest to put in around him as much as he can. They're trying to hold it up because they want what they want out of it and what they were promised out of it. So, the cover-up began a long time ago. They're really covering up his health. The family are covering up his health. They're aware of it. They know because they watched the grandfather go through it, and they know. If they didn't watch him, they knew about the grandfather. Trump, Fred Trump, he was, he suffered. And that's this bloke's fear, and rightly so. He needs to be, because he is in the same boat. Whether it's hereditary or not, I won't get into that. I'm not a doctor and I'm not a scientist in that area. I don't have a clue, but I do know that he is suffering some of the same thing as his father, and his father suffered severely from dementia. Okay, and he's been on this for quite some time, which I predicted a long time ago was why he doesn't sleep at night, and he's up all hours of the morning, putting up all this crap and this shit he puts up in capital letters.
Well, I've got to fill you in on a little bit other that just came in around me in that area of health, that this whatever it is that's going to happen and whatever it is that he's going to experience is going to be when he's on a trip overseas.
Okay, good one.
When he's on an overseas trip, because I felt like there was a hospital and there was something there in the hospital, but it wasn't a hospital on United States soil. So I got then the travelling, that he would be travelling somewhere in another country
And he'd be hospitalised.
there would be a hospital.
Okay.
And when I first got it, I thought, well, that's not in America.
No.
That's not in America, that hospital.
Well, there's definitely, he's carrying a burden around this and he knows it. It plays on his mind constantly. Yes, the day of reckoning and judgment is pretty close. The emperor's, lost his clothes. And, I think that, fill in the blank, so to speak, I think that it has gotten worse and worse. And I think that if you're saying to yourself, darlings, that he's been getting worse for ages, la 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 la. Yes, that's true. But what you're not getting is you're not getting the updates on how worse that is. Yes, it's been coming, and yes, it has been getting worse, but you're not getting what those worse updates are, because everything is being kept under wraps and undercover. And he doesn't get out. He gets on his, what president gets on a bloody on the internet? He gets on the Truth Social thing early hours in the morning because he can't sleep. He's too frightened to go to sleep. He mightn't wake up, and he's scared. He's really, really scared. It's a real burden for him, and that's showing. And the walking in the walls, all the rest of the stuff. He's being kept an eye on. Those around him, those keepers and watchers around him, keep a close watch on him. You've seen it a few times where he's had to be shown doorways, and he's just look at things. It's not rocket science. You only have to look at it and see the sorts of things that have been going on. So all I'm saying is it's worse than what you darlings have seen, because they've got a well-oiled machine of trying to keep him, because who's going to be in his place if he pops his clogs or something? Who's going to be in his place? Vance? Oh, God help us. So they're trying, and that won't get them what they want. This bloke is going to get them what I want. And just on that note, it's a bit of a joke, isn't it? I mean, here he is now having a go at Putin, because he's saying to Putin, he kept, Zelensky and kept people away from him, la, la, la. I said, isn't that treason? I mean, isn't that treason? When a US president says, I helped you by keeping, everybody and everything away from you, and it could have been worse for you, but I made it not. I'll put my hand up. Oh, okay, I'm treasonous. Oh, Jesus, God help us.
Okay, next topic, last one.
Next topic, upcoming midterms, and we're not going to really linger on it, but I do want to I had a feeling around it, and I'm going to go with the feeling, but I want to go with, okay, yeah, okay, oh yeah, all right, oh yeah, okay, all right, I'm going to read first, Judy. I'm going to
go.
6 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 8 of Cups, 8 of Swords. These ones here, okay? All these beautiful cards. Love, love, love them. Now, what came out for me before I even did the reading was that there was going to be some skullduggery going on around the midterms. There's going to be, they're really, really worried about it. They're going to pull out they're going to try and con the other bloke back to do his little bit of, magic and skullduggery, the Musk bloke. I'm not sure that he's going to be in on it or he's going to take a punt, because he's being watched very closely. He's being watched. Make no mistake. They're watching him like a cat watching a mouse and not sure he'll get to pull it off again. But having said that, they're going to be, and it's not going to be behind the scenes, they're going to be openly trying to manipulate, buy off and manipulate the midterms, because this is the Eight of Swords, they're going to try and manipulate all this. They're going to try and get it the way they want it. There's not going to be any hope of that. There is definitely money involved in that. I saw that. Three of Cups, Six of Pentacles and Eight of Cups here. This is the GOP. A very sad state of affairs. They're going to get done like a dinner over it all. There's going to be a big swing, because it's going to be the people speaking out again, and they're going to do it through the midterm elections. What do you get, you?
Well, what I got was that there were, and I got them sitting there, but there was only a group, like there was a group of Republicans, I'll name names. There was a group of Republicans, and what they've done is they've up to the time they're trying to make themselves look good, and that they, in all fairness to them, they have had a bit of a change of heart.
That's the 38 of them who voted against the bill.
Well, yes, that's the group, but be careful that don't be lulled into a false sense of security that they're all there and they're all changing their faces, they're taking off those masks, and it's not. Be careful, because there's going to be a couple of people certainly a couple of very outspoken people in the Democrats. Now, I got a woman and an older man, so they're going to be out there really drawing very large crowds and really getting to the crux of.
I think that's how I see Bernie Sanders. They've already done that. I think they'll be out there.
Well, that's what I'm getting here. And so, because they've learned and are still learning how to handle and how to get out there, because they've always been pretty conservative, how to get out there and say what they need to say and how to stand up for the party and themselves. So this card I love. It's not actually, but it is the death of old things and crossing the river Styx. So they've certainly learned a lot. That's where this one comes in. They've learned a lot, and they're about to get out there, and they're about to keep pushing that, because they want those seats, because it's the only way that they can have a balance of power. And it is, I'm sad to say, about the power. Who holds the power? Who holds the power to be able to say things? Who holds the power? And they have learned, I've got here, they've learned a lot of skills, a lot of new skills. So there's, and the reckoning day here, this one here, the Temperance card. Well, we love the Temperance card because if you look at all the people around there, they've certainly gone through a big awakening in their own party and getting out there and saying things, not trying to keep the peace, sit on the fence. So here we go. I think there's going to be some good things and a shift of power in that area. Okay.
It'll be people's way of saying it. Okay, just before we go, I love to bring out the three cards, and always bring them out from Denise Lynn's Sacred Forest. I love those. I'm going to put out the three cards as we speak and see if that brings up encapsulates the reading, and it does. Trust, passage, and protection. trust, passage, and protection. This is for all of us a rite of passage. This is our journey. This is where we're going, what we're doing, what we've been led into. Protection is about spirit protects us always in all that we do, make no mistake. And we will learn again to trust those on the outside, but more importantly, we are going through this rite of passage with ourselves on trusting our own intuition and our own personal self. We, Judith and I, go with you when you leave, and you go with us when we leave. In our hearts, we keep you. We send out hugs to you, blessings, love, lots of love. We're pouring loads of love over you and your lives wherever you are in the world. We care about you and love you, and we thank you for joining us. We thank you for listening to us. We thank you for being part of this channel, and we thank you for all of your support, and for those of you who buy us a coffee and who purchase a book or do something that contributes to the livelihood of the channel and the growth of it. And we certainly would like to get to 100,000 subscribers.
And make comments, don't forget, Wallace, make comments, because we love the comments, and if we can, we'll come back to you. We do get lots, but if we can, we'll come back and make a comment on it. But make a comment, have your say, and we love that. We love that you're there. We love that you're, as Wallace said before, we love that you're watching us, and we sincerely hope that the channel in itself helps you and gives you and is uplifting for you and gives you something to go on for the next week. And as we said before, we'll see you in a week's time, and take care. Lots of hugs, and God bless.
Bye for now.